You bought your last mower because you trusted the name on the hood. Your dad probably ran the same brand for 20 years and never had a problem, so you walked into Home Depot, found the logo you recognized, and figured you were making a safe choice. You might not have been, because there's a very real chance the mower you bought, the one you chose specifically because it wasn't the cheap brand next to it on the shelf, rolled off the exact same assembly line, built on the exact same frame, with the exact same transmission inside it. The only difference was the color of the paint and the number on the price tag. I personally think this is the most important thing nobody talks about in the mower space, and I spent an embarrassing number of hours on My Tractor Forum, Green Tractor Talk, and Lawn Site, digging into SEC filings and corporate press releases to map it all out. What I found made me genuinely angry on behalf of anyone who spent $2,000 thinking they were getting something different from the $1,500 machine sitting 3 feet away. So here's what happened. Between 2017 and 2022, roughly $5 billion in acquisitions completely reshuffled who owns what in the outdoor power equipment industry. And the biggest player in that reshuffling is a company you probably associate with tape measures and drills. Stanley Black Decker. In 2017, Stanley Black Decker bought the Craftsman brand from a dying Sears for about $900 million. 2 years later, they grabbed a 20% stake in MTD Products for $234 million. Then in December 2021, they bought the remaining 80% of MTD for $1.6 billion and picked up Excel Industries for another $300 million on the same day. When the dust settled, one corporation owned Craftsman, Cub Cadet, Troy-Bilt, Hustler Turf Equipment, BigDog, Yard Machines, Murray, DeWalt Outdoor, and Black & Decker Outdoor. That's at least 10 brand names. One parent company. Now walk into your local Home Depot and look at the riding mower aisle. You'll see Cub Cadet, Troy-Bilt, Murray, Ryobi, and John Deere. Looks like 5 competitors. Feels like real choice. 3 of those 5, Cub Cadet, Troy-Bilt, and Murray, are all Stanley Black & Decker. That's 60% of the riding mower aisle controlled by a single corporation. And they're not even hiding the strategy. Murray is your budget tier around $1,200. Troy-Bilt Pony sits in the middle around $1,800. Cub Cadet XT1 is the premium option around $2,400. Same MTD factories, same assembly lines, different stickers. And I'm not making that up. An MTD sales representative told a buyer on My Tractor Forum that the Troy-Bilt Super Bronco XP is, and I'm paraphrasing here, on the same platform as the new XT Enduro Series Cubs. Same deck, same everything, pretty much. They share the same engine options, the same frame, the same iron front axle, the same ball-bearing hubs, and critically, the same Tuff Torq K46 transmission. The difference? Hood styling, headlight type. Maybe 1 gauge difference in deck steel thickness, and somewhere between $100 and $400. Pay attention to this next part because it explains the whole industry. That Tuff Torq K46 transmission I just mentioned, it's inside over 5 million mowers worldwide, spread across 56 different variants. It doesn't matter if you're looking at a John Deere S240, a Husqvarna YTH Series, a Cub Cadet XT1, a Troy-Bilt Super Bronco, or a Craftsman riding mower. Open up the belly pan, and there's a very good chance you're staring at the same K46. Mowers ranging from $1,500 to $4,000 at retail. Same guts. And the forums all say the same thing about it. Overheating from clogged cooling fins, loss of power on hills as the piston pump seals wear out, premature failure somewhere between 140 and 350 hours. The mower manufacturers stamp it as non-serviceable, meaning when it dies, you replace the whole unit at $1,200 to $1,500 installed. Tuff Torq, the company that actually makes the thing, publicly called that non-serviceable label hogwash. Their own FAQ says you can and should change the fluid. The manufacturers just don't want you to, because a dead transmission at 300 hours means you're back in the store buying another mower. I personally think that's the most underrated scandal in the entire outdoor power equipment industry. It's not that the transmission is bad, exactly. It's that every manufacturer uses it. None of them tell you it's serviceable, and they all benefit when it fails. If you're watching this thinking, okay, so how do I actually tell which mower has the good transmission before I buy it? That's exactly why I built the No BS Buyer's Vault. Every major riding mower ranked by what's actually inside it, plus the maintenance schedule they should be giving you but aren't. Scan the QR code on screen, or check the link in the description and pinned comment. The Toro and Exmark situation is almost funnier. Toro owns Exmark, has since 1997. A detailed parts comparison on Lawn Sight found that the Toro Time Cutter and Exmark Quest share nearly 100% identical part numbers. One specific matchup showed an Exmark Quest S 50-inch at $4,300 versus a comparable Toro at $2,999. That's a $1,300 difference for what is functionally the same mower with a different logo and a slightly longer warranty. If you're finding this useful, hit subscribe. I cover outdoor power equipment every week, and I promise I'll never waste your time. Now, behind all of these mowers sits an engine, and the story there is just as concerning. Briggs & Stratton, the company that powered basically every lawnmower in America for 100 years, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in July 2020, carrying over $1 billion in debt. 9 days before filing, the board approved $5.1 million in cash retention bonuses for executives, including $1.2 million for the CEO. Then they skipped a $6.7 million bond payment 4 days later. A private equity firm called KPS Capital Partners bought the whole thing out of bankruptcy for about $550 million. Since then, KPS has gutted the workforce from thousands of employees down to around 3,800 globally, shut down the Wauwatosa manufacturing plant, closed the Germantown distribution center, and in September 2023 discontinued all Simplicity and Snapper tractors and Zero Turns in North America. 2 heritage brands just gone. And when they announced the discontinuation, they said they'd transition all Simplicity and Snapper customers to a Ferris equivalent mower, which is basically the company admitting out loud that their own brands were interchangeable all along. And Kohler, the other big American small engine manufacturer, sold to another private equity firm, Platinum Equity, in November 2023. That's the same firm that bought Tecumseh Power in 2007 and shut down manufacturing in 2008. Both dominant American engine brands are now owned by private equity with no obligation to prioritize long-term quality over short-term returns. So what does the homeowner actually do with this information? First, stop shopping by logo. When you're standing in that Home Depot aisle, flip the mower's spec sheet and look for 3 things. What engine is inside it? What transmission drives it? And whether it's a big box version or a dealer model, because those are often different machines even when they share a name. A Home Depot. John Deere S10. O uses a Briggs engine and a non-serviceable K46. A dealer John Deere X300 uses a Kawasaki engine and a heavier serviceable transmission. Same green and yellow paint, completely different mower. Second, know which brands are still genuinely independent. Skag Power Equipment, built by Metalcraft in Mayville, Wisconsin, dealer only, American-made for nearly 40 years, widely considered the gold standard in commercial zero turns. Bad Boy Mowers out of Batesville, Arkansas, founded in 2002, available at Tractor Supply and through dealers. Grasshopper Mowers in Moundridge, Kansas, family-owned for over 50 years, and they explicitly state that no parent corporation or outside investors make decisions about their products. And Ariens Co. in Brillion, Wisconsin, family-owned since 1933, still building Ariens and Gravely mowers. On the battery side, Ego from a company called Shervin is forcing real innovation. Every battery they've sold since 2014 works in every current tool. John Deere, a $52 billion corporation, chose to partner with Ego rather than develop their own battery platform. I'd spend my own money on Ego's setup for a suburban lawn under an acre without hesitation. And here's one last tip that might save your current mower. If you've got a K46 transmission, drain the factory oil and replace it with Tuff Torq's recommended 5W50 full synthetic, a $20 fluid change that the forums say can double the transmission's lifespan. That's the kind of information the manufacturer should be printing on the owner's manual. They don't, because they'd rather sell you the next one. The mower aisle isn't a marketplace. It's a managed shelf where 3 corporations rotate their own brands to simulate competition. The names on the hoods are different. The machines underneath are not. Once you know that, You stop shopping by color and start shopping by components. And that's how you avoid becoming the guy who spent $4,000 on a mower that's functionally identical to the one next to it for $2,500. YouTube thinks you'll like this video, so click it. And if you made it to the end, subscribe.